Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brooke. I wonder if you can tell something is different. I got a new camera. I'm super excited about it. No longer filming on my phone and running out of storage space. Happy October, happy spooky season. It is a time of year I love, not only for spooky season, but I love autumn and fall and wearing sweaters, drinking hot beverages, the flavors and smells of fall, the pretty leaves. Today is the first of, I guess, 4 weekly reading vlogs because I am participating in 2 readathons this month. 2, you ask? Brooke, that seems a little bit much. Well, one of them is only a week long at the end of the month. The other one runs the whole month. So I figure it's not so bad. So the first readathon that I am partaking in, the one that runs the entire month, is the Wanderers Readathon, hosted by Wandering Wonderland and the Wandering Pages over on Bookstagram. I will link them below. They've organized this wonderful readathon, which is academia themed, and they have a whole Instagram page. There's a Discord page for this readathon, which is super exciting. When you sort of like joined the readathon, they had a link that you went to go be sorted into your teams, and the teams are dark and light academia. I am on the dark academia team, which I'm quite excited about. And there are 4 prompts right now, so it's basically a book a week for the month, and if you finish those prompts, they have more to give you if needed. The first 4 prompts are as follows. Who am I? Are as follows. Prompt number 1, read a drama/tragedy. I think I'm gonna just like share the books that I'm reading as I go along with the prompt. So for prompt number 1, the drama/tragedy, I am going to be reading the Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I've heard so much about this book, and I'll be honest, I've been putting it off because I heard that it's going to destroy my soul, that it's going to make me sob, and I just haven't been ready. My camera battery full on died in the middle as I was talking, so 2 hours later, hi, again, we're back. And I think I was talking about Song of Achilles. I've never read it before. I was never mentally prepared to be wrecked, as I hear this book will make me. But what better time than now to read it? It fits the prompt, like, perfectly. And I don't know, the sky is crying, so why shouldn't I cry also? Could probably use a good cry. Prompt number 2 is read a book with a dark brown cover. I am picking books from books I already own from my TBR cart. So that's just an extra challenge that I'm putting in for myself, but I don't have anything with a dark brown cover. So I picked The Heart of Betrayal because this is the closest to dark brown that I could find. It's kind of orangey, but there's dark brown around it. This is all dark brown in the corners, kind of orangey brown. So I say that counts. And this is book 2 in the Remnant Chronicles by Mary E. Pearson. The Kiss of Deception is book 1. I read the Dance of Thieves duology first, not knowing that it was in the same world as the Kiss of Deception, the Remnant Chronicles. And I loved the Dance of Thieves duology a lot. And when I learned that the Kiss of Deception was the same world that this trilogy came first, I was like, must buy it. I have indeed finished this book already because it was just so good. So I finished this the other day. Today's the 2nd. I finished it yesterday on October 1st. And I planned it out well because I had read the first one at the end of September, so it just like worked out well that this was the first read of October, was part of my readathon, and now I have a book under my belt for the readathon, and the month is barely started. Although I haven't read it all today, so. I really enjoyed this book. I'm currently waiting for the third and final book to come in the mail. I regret my decision not to, you know, order it sooner. Anyways, this was my dark brown cover. And it's done. The next prompt is read a book by Shakespeare. I wanted to read something that I have not yet read of Shakespeare's. You know, the popular things are like Hamlet, Romeo and Juliet. Mackers is a good one for this time of year. However, these are all things I have read or worked on, and I wanted something different. I feel as though I should read a tragedy because of the season, but I found an audiobook of As You Like It with Helena Bonham Carter in my Libby app that I'm really tempted to do because Helena Bonham Carter. Anyways, we'll figure something out. There's lots of Shakespeare to pick from. It's not going to be an issue, but I am planning to listen to a Shakespeare as an audiobook because Shakespeare's like, they're plays, so they're meant to be performed, and I just feel like an audiobook of Shakespeare will be just a juicy experience instead of just reading it. So, pumped for that. The last prompt is read a book that gives off gothic vibes. For this, I have chosen Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I've had this for a while. It's been sitting on my TBR cart for a while, and I just like haven't been able to bring myself to read it. Don't know why, but I have a coworker who really loves this book, and so what a perfect time to read it, I think. All I know about it is that it's university secret societies. That's pretty much it. But I am intrigued to see what Leigh Bardugo's writing is like in the adult fantasy world, because I enjoyed her YA fantasy stuff, particularly the Six of Crows duology, as I'm sure everyone who's read it does. So I'm very interested to see what her writing for an older audience is like. That's all I'm reading for that readathon. My brain is not working. I just thought it would be fun, because I've never really done a readathon before, officially, to vlog weekly my reading and just have fun. I also have some other books that I would love to get to this month as well, if not this sort of autumn season. And I'll probably include those books in my reading vlogs because it's still things I'm reading. Anywho, today I am going to start the Song of Achilles, I think. I have heard nothing but good things about this book, which makes me think I'm going to enjoy it and just like fly through it. It's possible that I'm wrong. However, because Kingdom of the Cursed comes out next week, because my copy of book 3 of the Remnant Chronicles is coming in next week, I want to get a good start on the Wanderer's Readathon, and if I can get this done before those 2 books come out / come in, I'll have 2 of the 4 prompts finished in like, in like the first week or so of October, and that would just be, you know? I was just listening to a couple chapters of Evicted by Matthew Desmond, which is a nonfiction that I was lent by a friend from work, and it follows 8 families as they struggle with poverty and the housing crisis, and it's just like such an eye-opening book. Like, what a vicious circle like poverty and the renter's market is, capitalism, like it's just freaking awful. It's a Pulitzer Prize winner, I definitely recommend it. I'm going to go make myself some breakfast. I'm really hankering for some oatmeal. So I'm gonna make some oatmeal, a cup of tea, do a couple of things on my computer as I eat breakfast, and then I'm probably just gonna sit and read the Song of Achilles until I have to go to work. It's definitely interesting so far. I didn't realize it wasn't from Achilles' point of view, so that has like intrigued me. But also, I don't read general fiction a lot. Like I feel like this one, it's gonna take me a little bit to get into the story. I'm not familiar with the Greek myth of Achilles and Patroclus? Is that how we pronounce his name? I'm unsure. I'll have to look it up. So I think that it's like all of it is new information for me, and so I'm just like waiting for the understanding to grasp and for like the real story to reveal itself. But I'm really like 30 pages in, so. What did my friend say? I told him, he read it and he loved it, and I told him I was reading it. Oh, he said, "Oh my ducking god, you're about to die," and cry. So, very intrigued. I think I responded with, "I'm not ready, but let's go anyway." So, kind of glad I'm vlogging myself reading this book because I'm probably gonna react to it a lot. Okay, so I'm just heading to work. I think I'm on maybe chapter 8 or so of Song of Achilles, and like, man, this poor kid just like cannot catch a break. When they say it's a tragedy, I can already see why. I'm only like 60 pages in and I'm already like, oh no, this is gonna be bad. I'm off to work for the day. I'll be back in a few hours, and then I'm just probably going to read on my break and when I get home. That's the plan. I'm hurting, and we're not even at, like, I'm maybe a third of the way through this book. We're not even at the part that's meant to make me cry. But on the bright side, I have Dunkaroos. Dunkaroos are gonna make me feel better. I'm like really unsure what's gonna happen next. And I don't know if I want to know. I'm like not ready to continue, but also I'm like, I want to know. Anyways, I'm gonna sit at my desk and hopefully we sort out some problems. Either that or the crying is gonna start. Okay, Okay, so I finished reading Evicted this morning by Matthew Desmond. It's a non-fiction about poverty and like the housing crisis, essentially. It says poverty and profit in the American city. And it's like, wow, it was really good. I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 stars because it's just like brutal and visceral and wow. Like I definitely learned something. And it's like easy to understand. It's really fascinating. And it's just like, it shows you what a vicious cycle poverty can be and how capitalism sort of feeds into that circle in a really negative way. And once you're in the circle, it's like really, really hard to get out. And it's just like a really eye-opening read. I definitely recommend it to anyone, especially people who rent or want to become landlords. It's really, really, I think, a valuable read. And I think it will change the way you perceive people and treat people in a really positive way. Also, what have I done this morning? I read some more Song of Achilles this morning. I was like dreaming about it last night, which is the mark of a good book when it's just like in my subconscious, you know? What page am I on? I'm on chapter 18, page 198. So this far. I'm nearly 2/3 of the way through it. I'm just trying to prepare myself for tears because things are starting to happen now and I'm afraid that I know I'm gonna cry. I'm really enjoying it, actually. It's not something I would typically pick up, I think, if it didn't have all the hype around it and people weren't constantly telling me I should read it. If I had read the back of this myself, I probably wouldn't have picked it up. But that's what's so exciting about the book community and like readathons and, you know, social media, is that you hear about books that you wouldn't normally pick up and then you read them and enjoy things that you never would have read before. So I just feel like I'm widening my scope. And that's very exciting to me. I'm enjoying this. I am gonna finish it today though. I just got an email from Indigo saying my shipment is out for delivery, meaning it's gonna be in today, the mail, which I'm pretty sure it'll be book 3 of the Remnant Chronicles, and that is like an immediate read for me because I need to know what happens. And then, so it's like, the timing of this is wild. So I'm going to finish this today. If I could finish it this morning, that would be great, but that's not gonna happen before I have to go to work. But if I can finish this today, then I'll probably start the last book of the Remnant Chronicles and then start Kingdom of the Cursed. I guess after today, I'll be halfway through my first readathon prompts, which is exciting. I feel like I'm holding myself to a really rigid reading schedule because I have so much that I want to get to, so I'm just like, read it all as fast as you can so you can just read everything. Which might not be the most productive way to go about things, but oh well. Anyways, that's that. See you later. Have officially finished this book and I feel a little bit dead inside. Not gonna lie. When they say it's a tragedy, they're really not kidding. Like at all. It's heavy. It's some heavy stuff. But it was good. God, I just wanted better for them, you know? I literally just finished it. It's 12:55 in the morning and I just don't have words yet, you know? You know when you finish a book and it's like that after book grief? Yeah. I forgot just how horrible Greek mythology like truly is. We get so many like watered down versions and like sweetened versions that you just go, oh yeah, it's actually awful. And I forgot about that. This was definitely a really good read, and I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars out of 5. I think if I knew more Greek mythology and was like more passionate about Greek mythology, it would have probably gotten a 5. Anyways, it was really good, but it hits you really a lot in the feels. And it's 1 AM, but I can't go to sleep right now because I'm just thinking about it. Book 3 of the Remnant Chronicles, The Beauty of Darkness, came in the mail today. It's not part of my readathon, but I like desperately need to read it because it's the last book in the trilogy. So I'm like, I need to know what happens and how it ends. So I think I'm gonna start that and indulge myself in this because I know I'm gonna really enjoy this. And then tomorrow I'm going to be bringing home Kingdom of the Cursed to start as soon as I finish this. And hopefully by the time I finish that, I'll feel better from this. I didn't really film all that much on Wednesday. I enjoyed a really lovely morning, admiring the fog, sitting outside with a cup of tea, my breakfast, and my book, and the rest of the day I worked, so I didn't film, and when I got home I just read my book and went to bed. I was pretty tired. Mom and I took an adventure to the plant store, and I was super indecisive. It took me forever to pick a plant and then a pot, but I ended up coming home with a gorgeous new snake plant and a peperomia. That night we went out for dinner at one of our favorite restaurants, and we were able to sit outside. It was so nice, and leave it to me to have a tea out for dinner when everyone else is having a beverage, but that's all right. It was super, super delicious, and we stayed later than I thought, so when I got home, I fed my cat Gilbert, and my bunny read a couple of chapters of The Beauty of Darkness and went to bed. It's the 8th of October, I think. What day is it? Yeah, the 8th of October. I have just finished The Beauty of Darkness, which is the last book in the Remnant Chronicles, and you know when you finish a series and you just feel like that bitter sweetness of being done? That's how I feel. This book was like angsty. It had a nice ending though, so that is good. I didn't cry like I did in Song of Achilles, so it did fill part of the hole that that book left me with. So I just love these books. These are definitely a new favorite along with the Dance of Thieves duology, and I'm like already in the mood to reread them, you know? They're just so good. Definitely underrated, I think. It deserves more hype. Mary E. Pearson deserves more hype. Hello, I just got out of the bath and put some comfy clothes on. It is like the perfect day to be cozy. The weather is overcast. I'm assuming it's kind of chilly out. Not been outside today, but I'm making the assumption. The trees are changing colors. It's just like today gives me cozy vibes and I'm here for it. Not putting makeup on. Just gonna sit and read all day long, I think, and I haven't had a day like that in a little while, and I'm just like super excited to do nothing, just indulge myself in my book. I think, yeah, 103 pages into Kingdom of the Cursed, and I really missed Wrath and Emilia. I just think their relationship is so great. Their banter back and forth is so, it's the stuff that I love in these kind of enemies to lovers books. And I'm really, really intrigued to see like where it goes, because the ending of book 1 had me shook. And so we got a lot of ground to cover before we get to an ending that I will be happy about. I'm probably gonna just eat this up this afternoon. And that is exactly what I did. I spent the rest of the day reading. I didn't quite finish the book, but I got about 100 pages to the end, and I finished that the next day, which you'll see in next week's reading vlog. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Stay as long as you like. Love you. Good night.